Life gets really complicated when I start trying to figure things out. When I am trying to know, that's when things feel hard and overwhelming and confusing and complicated. And if I'm just okay with not knowing, if I just stop trying to know, then it all feels better. If I just stop trying to figure anything out, anything, if I stop planning, if I stop identifying, because that's a big one. If I stop identifying and just let everything be as it actually is, because the minute I start identifying, I'm conceptualizing, I'm flattening, I'm not actually experiencing anymore. I'm thinking, I become trapped in the mind, and everything is viewed through the lens of mind, which means it has this falseness to it. It becomes fabricated. It's not the actual thing. And when I stop trying to know with the mind, and I stop identifying, and I stop thinking, and I just exist, I stop identifying as, too. I stop identifying myself. I stop identifying with anything. I stop applying labels. And I start recognizing when a role is being played, and I stop attaching to it and just let it be something that is played in the moment, like a game, like a piece of music. It doesn't have to have this great seriousness, this weight, all of this meaning. I stop attaching, assigning all of this unnecessary, irrelevant, not actual, not even real meaning to things, and let everything just be beautiful. Everything is beautiful by its being. It doesn't actually need this extra meaning attached that is just made up anyway. It just is, and it's fantastic. It doesn't need a reason. It doesn't need this additional layer of sort of sentimentality attached for me to feel the power and appreciate what's happening in the moment. I'm not cut off from feeling when I stop identifying and attaching. It flows more freely. It becomes actual. It becomes genuine and real. I'm no longer experiencing egoic reactions when I'm doing that. I'm having an actual emotional response. And that response is always positive. It's always yes. When I let the truth of myself respond to what is in the moment, and that means I'm looking at the moment honestly, truly, clearly, not through the lens of mind and identification and labeling, but actually just seeing it for what it is, not trying to understand it or figure it out, then I'm letting myself respond. Myself has a response, and that response is always positive. It is always yes. It is always great, good, awesome, amazing, love it. That is always the response of myself. When I'm actually letting that flow through, that's what happens. I'm just noticing this. This is not, there's no effort there. It's not trying to see things a certain way, trying to feel, trying to manufacture an emotion. It's just what happens. When I stop identifying and I stop trying to figure things out, and I let go of thinking and labeling, especially including the labeling of myself, and the moment is just allowed to be, everything is just allowed to be freely, the natural response, the true response of myself emerges, and that response is yes. It is a resounding yes to everything. And it feels good. And why would I not just do what feels good to me? That's what drives me back to it again and again. That, and the fact that doing other than that feels terrible, which is fine too. That's allowed too. And I can allow myself even to derive a version of satisfaction in that, a sense of pleasure in that, because the rest of myself is still existing in the moment, witnessing that tangled up experience internally. And you know what it's saying to that tangled up experience? Yes. It's still saying yes. It's still not rejecting a single thing, a single portion of what is. But I really, really like lining up with that. I really, really like. I'm just noticing that I feel the best. I feel the best. I experience the most pleasure and peace and positive sensation, and I like it the most, in my experience, when I stop trying to know, I stop trying to figure anything out, I exist purely in the moment, and I stop labeling, I stop identifying anything, anyone. When I stop identifying, I start experiencing, and when I am experiencing directly, I have a good time. I like it all. I say yes to all of it. When I'm experiencing directly, I'm actually knowing. I'm experiencing the only true knowing that exists, which is direct, which is experiential. But more than that, more than any of that, my energy is flowing fully and freely, and it feels fucking good. I feel alive. I feel myself. I feel the most myself, and that feels good to me. And I want to do what feels good to me. I have that power. I have that choice. So I want to keep this in my view. I want to remember this. When I let go of knowing, when I let go of figuring out, when I let go of planning, thinking about past and future, anything outside of this moment, letting go of all of that and just being here, now. When I stop labeling and I stop identifying, I feel good, and I want to feel good, and I get to feel good. So that's what I'm going to do. And I just felt like expressing that. And I'm not going to explain it or ask for a reason. It just feels good to me. No more labels, no more identification, just what is. Because what is lovely.